Away we go on the Wednesday edition. Mr. Irrelevant, Alex Strouf, Josh DiMaggio, Will Sommers, Hunter Vaughn. Everybody's here on Wednesday after taking Monday back in the time machine to the OG Mr. Irrelevant. Just me and Hunter working on the birthday boy's birthday. But good to have everybody back on this Wednesday. I want to get into Jeff Hafley leaving Green Bay, heading to Miami as the head coach. Want to get into who and what should replace him as the Packers defensive coordinator. But before we get to any of that, I want to give Josh DiMaggio the floor. Joshy, this is your first time seeing Will since Sunday's playoff loss. You were not here on Monday when Will joined us and was as depressed as I've ever seen that little guy. Do you have any words for him?
Honestly, I mean, what else can I rub into him? The Packers lost to them. It did end in a way that I would have say was predictable. The fact that they held off the resurgence from the Rams were able to haul off the Bears. Good for them. I have seen a lot of people doing a lot of justification for 3 interceptions. I haven't seen Will do that, so I don't know if I have all that much to attack him personally on. And had they not eliminated the Packers, I probably would victory lap more. But, like, what can I say? They knocked Sal around earlier. Isn't that sort of how things go here? Didn't we have the bragging rights for all those years, and now they get it until the next time the Packers play? Them?
No.
Did that go the way you thought it would?
No, I was honestly just anticipating a cackle.
Nah, I mean,
If it was Monday, I think we would have gotten more cackles.
I don't.
I think
Like,
the wound is
It
healed.
would have been one thing if they got blown out, but they very easily could have won that game.
Josh.
I mean, now we're getting.
I mean, they had the ball. in
Yeah.
the second possession
Yeah,
in
and
overtime.
they had their quarterback that threw an interception.
And the receiver gave up on a route.
Yeah. Wonder if we could have figured out if that guy should be on the field or not.
Some people are saying he had a concussion.
Which one?
Are you people?
DJ Moore.
Are you people?
I'm not you people.
That's interesting because I thought Caleb was the one who played like he had a concussion.
I still can't get over that play. The touchdown pass. Where
Yeah.
he takes off 30 yards backwards.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Pretty obvious push off.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't know. I don't know if that's where I was going with that. But.
I saw it. I
Yeah.
saw it in live real time. Said, well, I mean, why is that guy going towards the pylon and the ball's going like towards the front pylon? And why is the ball going behind him?
Sure.
He just misread a moon ball.
No argument for me. No argument for me. Okay, that's how we're starting the show. Will, good to have you back in person. Thanks for joining us remotely on Monday.
mm-hmm.
Joshy, good to have you back on this fine Wednesday. And Hunter, being the grinder of the group.
It's very interesting you elected to start there and not with Matt LaFleur's contract extension, which we also haven't discussed together.
Yeah.
Well, I
It's
discussed
almost
that.
like someone's living a little bit in your head.
Yeah,
It's almost like I
a
was
big-
actually here on Monday and I spent the first 40 minutes of the show.
Right, but you came to me off the jump to ask about how I felt about Will's team losing when more recently.
And you lost your defensive coordinator.
Well, we'll get to that. That's the news today. That's the first thing on the rundown today. I just wanted to see if Josh had any thoughts on the Bears.
I think we have to take our loss.
Huh.
How much does an enjoy Cancun feel when Will goes, yeah, you guys got an extra week?
I'd like an extra week in Cancun right now. I'll just say that much.
Like, I'm smart enough to know everywhere I try to go, Will has a comeback.
I am not smart enough to know that.
You
No.
don't say.
Clearly not.
No.
So I'm just going to end up looking like a dink.
Thank you.
Okay,
Josh.
well,
Thank
that,
you.
that did not go the way I thought it was going to go, but good to have everybody back. Okay, speaking of being back, or not so much, is Jeff Hafley leaves Green Bay. He is now the head coach of the Miami Dolphins, reunited after like a week and a half apart from John Eric Sullivan, their new general manager. Lambeau South in South Beach, as it stands right now, first domino post-Matt LaFleur contract extension here in the offseason for Green Bay. As Jeff Hafley departs the team, as we all expected, it was just a matter of time, and it actually happened faster than I thought it would. He agrees to that contract about 3 hours after we're on the air on Monday, And now the Packers are kind of, I don't want to say scrambling. I don't think that's the right word, but they're scrambling to figure out who their next defensive coordinator is, right? Scheduling and requesting interviews with various people from across the league, leading us to believe maybe there won't be a whole lot of other changes to this coaching staff. Still no announcement on Rich Bisaccia, still no announcement on Adam Stenavich, still no announcement on Luke Butkus, whether or not they will be retained or whether they will be let go from Green Bay. But the hole now that the Packers need to focus on is defensive coordinator. And they have a former defensive coordinator on their staff already. Defensive line coach DeMarcus Covington could certainly be an internal promotion, and that's the route LaFleur has gone many times before with, an internal candidate when a job opens up. Don't love that idea, but it certainly is one. And there's some other options on the table. But Joshy, gut check. Hafley out as the Packers start searching for a defensive coordinator. Where's your head at 2 days removed from the Hafley news?
I don't think it's as much of a loss as maybe some people may. I think he is a competent defensive coordinator. I don't think he's particularly a special defensive coordinator. I would say there's probably a handful of guys across the league that truly are. So the big thing is just not to get the next hire wrong. I think Joe Barry, we can all say, was unequivocally the wrong hire.
You think?
When he got into the semantics argument with Jason, Matt LaFleur did in defense of Joe Barry about down linemen and how many linemen around the field, when teams could just trick Joe Barry into putting nickel, even though everyone knew they were going to run the ball. That stuff mostly went away. So I think it's fine. I do think it's interesting, the guys that they've been pursuing initially, the names we've seen are all defensive backs guys, which would point towards Matt LaFleur probably thinking that's an asset or a good way to run the defense, especially if they feel like they're going to be able to retain a guy like DeMarcus Covington, who's also getting defensive coordinator interviews. I think they're going to cast a super wide net. I think hopefully we've learned from the past bad hires and go towards the good ones. I'm not interested in Jonathan Gannon.
We'll get to that in a minute.
I'm not interested in really any of the older retread guys. I think new and exciting is probably the way to go.
So you want an up-and-comer more so than a retread?
Yes. Unless it's Brian Flores. If they can steal him away and he doesn't get a head coaching job and they can do whatever to give him an offer where he...
An unbelievably proven guy, though, right?
Right. That would be the next case. Yeah, but the guys who've done it before and been mediocre to fine.
So I actually mostly disagree with that, but we'll get back to that in a minute. I actually want to focus on something you said at the top, which is effectively, I don't think it's as big of a loss as some people do. And I think you're right, as long as they get the hire right.
Right. But the thing is, it's not like they fired and are replacing.
Correct.
It's not like, we're desperately looking for an upgrade. They're in a spot where they have to try and find an upgrade or at least someone similar. You could certainly get the hiring process. Matt LaFleur has gotten the hiring process wrong countless times. Look at all these special coordinators.
I don't know about countless, but he's had several blemishes, no doubt.
We'd have a hard time looking at all the guys that are no longer with the staff and go, well, that probably wasn't the best guy to have around here.
Yeah, special teams coordinator.
Can you name all the special teams coordinators under Matt LaFleur?
Sean Meninga, I think, was the first one.
I believe you're right.
And then it was Maurice Drayton and now it's Rich Bisaccia.
Yeah. Is Maurice Drayton... Oh, wait, is Drayton actually coaching Citadel or something? You seem to...
I'll look that up.
I just need to fill you in on what just happened. I need to send an email also. Been retrieved. Thanks a lot, Matt. Exclamation point. Okay, so there's this guy that calls into KBN. He goes by the pseudonym of Lasagna in Milwaukee.
Yes.
He's been he's been offering kindly to KBN for months now that he will drop off a frozen pan of his famous lasagna. I got a text from him 10 minutes before the show started that said, and let me rephrase. I got an email from him 10 minutes before the show started. And he said, hey, I'm having an employee of mine drop off a frozen pan of lasagna. I know you're on the air. Can you send somebody to get it?
An employee of mine?
Yeah, he owns a business. And And I think Andrew Zimmel from 1017 The Truth somehow found the lasagna and just brought it into the room back there. So we now have frozen lasagna back there. Will, have at it if you'd like.
It's very heavy. It's just a big block of lasagna.
It's frozen, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's why it's so heavy.
So that's what I was distracted by. So that's what just happened.
Just to make sure so everybody knows, Josh was right, by the way. Maurice Drayton, head coach of the Citadel.
Is it the Citadel or just Citadel?
The Citadel.
The Citadel.
Is it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the
Okay.
Citadel. Yeah. Yeah, no, I knew you were right. I just didn't know if he was fired or not because Steve Scafidi brought that up during Green Bay game day. Probably right around when the college football season ended. He was giving us the track record of all the guys that LaFleur missed on, which there are a few, no doubt. Maurice Drayton, and then it was into Rich Bisaccia, and we view that as a miss.
I view that as a miss. I think internal hiring of Butkus is a miss. I think the advancement of Adam Stenovich is also a miss. And that's going, and then some other guys like Luke Getsy, even though he got further opportunity, he was probably a miss and then just incorrectly hired. Like if that were to look at it.
But Luke Getsy wasn't bad for the Packers.
No, but we also don't know what Luke Getsy, much like we don't know with Adam Stenovich.
Correct.
We don't really know what those guys are doing, or if they're actually someone Matt LaFleur listens to and respects opinions of and takes.
Well, he brought Getsy back and Hackett back, so clearly he respects them.
It seems like if we're being honest, it seems like we're hiring a lot of our friends.
Yes and no. I think that's kind of how the NFL operates, though, no?
I think a lot of times, yes, but I don't think everyone.
Yeah.
It certainly seems like the same names pop up, come around, show up in town. And after failure, they're like, hey, well, we can give you a job that gives you some sort of salary. How's that sound?
It's fair.
And also we have the aspect of, which has now been refuted, are the Packers actually cheap or are they hiring the wrong people? Do people want to come here to work in Green Bay, work for Matt LaFleur and the Green Bay Packers? That's all stuff we're never quite sure about. We're also now not sure, even though I'm pretty sure with the Jim Leonhard being offered a contract thing, despite both Jim Leonhard and his agent being on the record saying that they were offered a job for the defensive coordinator.
I don't get it.
When he was hired, Bill Huber then has gone out and said that is inaccurate reporting. He was never actually offered a job. So it's hard to really parse out what actually goes on with those. But it seems like, hard to guess, the people in Green Bay don't like the perception of how they handle assistants.
Yeah.
And it seems like there's a concerted effort to try and squash some of that, even if it's true or not.
Correct. And that's the Leonhard thing is confusing to me, and that's a name I want to get to at some point. But the
right.
Packers,
I believe Leonhard was quoting as saying we were talking numbers.
yes, which sounds to me like he's been offered a contract.
Right. But you know what that allows them is, well, we never put a contract in front of him.
Right. We never landed on the right number.
Right.
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 And then he pulled himself from the job. So I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I don't know that.
If you get to talking numbers, you've been offered
But
a job.
the minutia doesn't matter to me, Joshy. It's whether or not LaFleur will put his bias or the grudge aside, if there is a grudge, right? It may have ended very nicely. I don't know. But for him to get to whatever point, but you're right, on the record saying they were discussing numbers, to get to that point, will he be back in the mix? Now, obviously, the Broncos play this week, and he's still on the Broncos staff, so they wouldn't be able to talk to him until next week anyway. But is that a guy that the Packers would bring back in? I would think so, but only 3 names so far have come across the list that the Packers have requested an interview with. The Packers will interview Christian Parker, who started his coaching career in the NFL under Mike Pettin and LaFleur in Green Bay back in 2019 and 2020. He was a defensive quality control coach, spent each of the last 2 years in Philadelphia as their D-backs coach and their pass game coordinator, and 2 years prior to that as the D-backs coach in Denver. So been around the league, hot up-and-coming candidate. Christian Parker was the first name requested by the Packers. The second name requested by the Packers. No direct ties to the Packers, but has been in the NFC North the past several years, spent the last 3 seasons as the defensive pass game coordinator under Brian Flores in Minnesota, spent the season before that as the defensive backs coach, was the defensive coordinator at LSU in 2021, and the year prior, again, the D-backs coach with the Vikings. So has spent a lot of time in Minnesota. That's Durante Jones, if I haven't said his name. And then the final one, well, he needs no introduction other than this 9-second video clip because he is quite the awkward fellow who's been around the block a few times.
Good. Shots, explosives. You can run.
I think that's kind of how Will speaks, no?
I believe that was my screen recording.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, that's something I would say probably.
Shoom, shoom,
As a
shoom.
defensive head coach talking to like one of my top offensive players and I didn't know what to say, I'd probably just do that. Choo, choo.
Yeah, you sound like him, too.
Yeah.
Jonathan Gannon, who most recently served as the Cardinals head coach each of the last 3 seasons, was fired. Prior to that, appeared in the Super Bowl as the defensive coordinator for the Eagles, 21-22, and was the D-backs coach for 3 seasons in Indianapolis. Really good track record. He's had good defenses pretty much across the board. The Cardinals, while not a good team this year, gave the Packers offense a lot of trouble early in the season when they played back in October. It's an interesting option. Obviously, a guy with head coaching experience, which Hunter and I talked a lot about on Monday, when it comes to some of these, hopefully multiple new coordinators in Green Bay, but that's looking less and less likely as the days roll by. I want somebody who has been there and failed before, because that's what LaFleur needs in the room with him, is guys that have failed and are back to their original position, right? So I want somebody with head coaching experience. I'll make it make sense in a moment. I want somebody with head coaching experience that has success defensively. So Jonathan Gannon actually does fit the bill for something I'd be looking for.
Isn't now I'm going to ask the other 2 people in the program. If I say the statement, the strongest correlation between future failure is previous failure, would you say true or false?
In this situation, I would say that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I would also say that's true.
And then walk me through why you're conditioning previous failure as...
Well, he had failure as a head coach, more so than he had failure as a defensive-minded head coach.
He really only had one really good year as a defensive coordinator, too, and his defense was stacked. Like, I could have been the defensive
Yeah, he
coordinator
had the best
for that
roster
team.
in the league.
Yes. Yeah, those things all seem pretty important to me.
He had a good defense against the Packers, and I get the offense wasn't good, so the defense was out there a lot, but the rest of the season for them wasn't great on defense. Shoom, shoom.
Shoom, shoom. I'm interested in him from a leadership perspective.
I mean, we just listened to him. That's not a leader. That's not a guy
Have you
who could
heard
be a
the
leader.
quote? Show me your hands. Who drove here and who took the bus?
Yeah, he's
And then he said,
he's clearly not a voice that people are going to defer to and respect and carry a ton of weight.
I don't think that's true.
He's an awkward guy.
I'm not disagreeing with that. But I view awkward as, I'm fine with awkward. I don't really care if you're awkward. You're awkward. I'm awkward. Will's super awkward. I'm fine
I don't
with
know
awkward.
if you know what awkward is. I think you have a skewed sense of awkward.
I think everybody's awkward.
Well, then now it's a meaningless word.
I tend to agree. I think it's meaningless if a good defensive-minded coach is awkward.
Here, I've never walked up to somebody after meeting them for the first time and started making laser noises. And I guarantee you I will never do that in my life. So, 1 for me. Like, what do you mean?
Keep up the good work, Josh.
We played that for how awkward it is.
Play it again. I want to hear it again.
Oh, okay. 1 second. I got to get it to go back to the beginning. Here we go.
I'm fascinated by him. Phew, phew.
Good. Shots. Explosives. You can run.
Explosives. You can run.
Yeah.
It's the most like Michael Scott in The Office.
Literally. And then he
moment
taps
ever.
him and like big leagues him and walks away.
Yeah, I don't want that guy around.
So you're out on Jonathan Gannon, which I think is a fascinating candidate for this job.
He's not
I
fascinating.
think a lot of people are out on.
Well, so I'm just, because I don't want to continually pile on Strouf here. What if he's that type of guy who, like, if it is any situation outside of scheming up an NFL defense, dude's useless. But if you get him X's and O's scheming a defense, the guy is Einstein, and it's incredible.
I don't feel like that was any of his reputation though at his previous stops. Was like, this guy is a schematic genius.
Matthew chimes in. If Gannon is hired as the defensive coordinator, I don't think we're allowed to call Ben Johnson a tool anymore.
It's just it seems so apparent to me that, like, if you're looking for a leader, command the room,
Sure.
lead a defense,
Yeah.
the guy making laser noises ain't it.
Okay, so DeMarcus Covington.
I think he has a lot of respect amongst the league, and I think he has a lot of respect amongst the team.
Was the defensive line coach this year.
Mm-hmm.
How'd that work for Rashawn Gary?
Well, I mean, I don't know if we can talk.
You think if Buddy Ryan was coaching him, it'd be just as bad?
I don't think it was the Bears wide receiver coach that DJ Moore quit multiple times.
Fair point.
Yeah.
Fair point. I mean, and Covington, as I mentioned, has defensive coordinator experience. He's internal.
I thought Baron Sorrell looked great in his limited
true.
opportunities.
That's
I thought Alvien took a step forward.
I did too.
I thought Devontae Wyatt also took a step forward.
I agree. And Micah Parsons is just Micah Parsons.
Yeah, he's probably one of those guys. Just leave him alone.
Yeah, right.
Let him do what he's gonna do.
Yeah.
He's fine.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a name that intrigues you. What about the other names I mentioned? Durante Jones, Christian Parker.
Both those are. I think Christian Parker is interesting because he's like one of those highly regarded names in the NFL. And if people are like, if he's getting the interviews from other people for defensive coordinator, that to me is like meaningful. I'm not super interested in like, well, for some reason the Packers interviewed this guy that nobody's really heard of or really knows what's going on.
Oh, that's coming. I mean, we're
Yeah.
still very early in this process.
Yeah, we just haven't hired that guy yet.
Yeah.
But I think reputation matters because I also think players are more likely to listen to a guy or learn from a guy and respect a guy who, if they ask their buddy, like, how was it with him? And they're like, he's awesome, really knows his stuff. And that's largely what we heard about Jeff Hafley. Like, the praise for Jeff Hafley from NFL guys was effusive. Like the Legion of Boom crew basically all said, no, it was Sherman with San Francisco. Like, a lot of the San Francisco guys were all like, yeah, he's awesome. He's great at what he does.
So, what about a guy like Jim Leonhard? Is that something you're for or against?
I don't know what to do. Obviously, I like Jim Leonhard. Obviously, I like what he did for the Badgers as a player and a coach. I thought he had a great NFL career. His path has been so strange.
Super strange.
I imagine he's probably a pretty good D coordinator.
Yeah.
I don't know where he is amongst the team. And I don't know how it would go in Green Bay necessarily, just based on the dynamics. But if they hire him and they think he's the right candidate for a second time, I'm not going to be disappointed.
I don't know that I'd be upset either. I agree with you. I'd prefer they go another direction, just because I feel so weird about the number one, the path, and also the expectations that come with coming back to Wisconsin.
Yes.
And it feels like if he's hired, that just gives fans expectations he'll never be able to live up to.
Right.
And to the point on something we were discussing earlier, Joshua, was, sure, I don't know how big of a loss Hafley is. I thought he was good when he was here. Obviously, he's really well respected, and that's what leads him to quickly landing a head coaching job. But you need to get this hire right. And what I mean by that is an improvement. You need to be better than Hafley was this year. And it's not like Hafley was phenomenal in his second year in Green Bay, but a good enough coach. But there were breakdowns, there were different things where you would have liked to see improvement. Obviously, the meltdown in Chicago was inexcusable, and he's partially to blame for that. But I don't think this is an irreplaceable loss, Jeff Hafley is. But you got to get this hire right. And I don't know if that's a retread. I don't know if that's an up and comer, but it needs to be somebody you're excited about. So let me throw one more name at you, and then you can respond. It's just a quick yes or no on Raheem Morris.
Nah. Hasn't he not had a top 10 defense ever?
Correct.
Yeah. That to me, I'm not super.
But
interested in.
you're more interested in him than you are Gannon.
Yes.
Just because of the awkwardness.
Yes.
That's a good take.
Yeah. I don't want to hear from that guy. I don't want something bad to happen, and then they ask him a question why, and you get some super awkward response. that will just make me even more mad. When it comes to Leonhard, the thing that can convince me is he has, to me, a potential to be one of the special defensive coordinators, just because from what we've seen him do in the past. And the second thing, and this is no disrespect to any of the teams in the past of Wisconsin, he got the most out of not the best talent.
Oh, yeah.
And that, to me, I think would be a valuable skill in Green Bay. because I think we can point around at some place and we go, well, that guy might not be the most talented, but damn, does he know how to play football?
Mhm.
And damn, does he know where to be and how to make impact plays? And I think that could be useful, especially in the secondary.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, the Packers aren't going to have the best cornerback talent anytime soon.
I'll respond to that in a moment. Go ahead, Hunter.
Just some added context with the Jim Leonhard side of this. I try not to, really put in a bunch of Cowboys stuff into this show, but they interviewed him during the Broncos bye week, and the reports that I saw from Cowboys insiders was that they loved Jim Leonhard, and it's basically if things go the way they expect on Sunday, being led by Jarrett Stidham at quarterback in the AFC Championship game, Jim Leonhard might be flying down to either Dallas or flying to New York, and neither of those teams will be letting him leave the building without a contract, given that they both already interviewed him. So that's the thing where, the Packers may not get a chance to have, an official conversation with him before he gets money thrown at him by one of those two teams.
Yeah, and that wouldn't, number one, that wouldn't surprise me, but number two, that wouldn't be the end of the world for me either. I don't know. I'm curious to see. I'm curious to see where this goes.
I do think there's a degree of it's probably wise for Jim to exhaust all options before deciding on one.
Right, but you can make the same thing for same case for a lot of those head coaches, and I don't know that Hafley waited for every opening. Buffalo became available, and he signed with Miami the same day, right? And I don't know what Buffalo's going to do, but. There was other openings. Pittsburgh was only open for a week, and Hafley never interviewed
I
there.
can tell you what Buffalo's going to do: crash and burn.
They're going to bring back Brian Dable.
Do you see the press stuff today?
Brutal. Yeah, I sure did. Mr. Pagula, which they kept calling him, which irritated the hell out of me.
It's very interesting to see the inner workings of the corporate dynamics of and people talk about this a lot when it comes to NFL jobs and some of these you or me things. The stabbing people in the back and representing yourself in the best possible way very clearly happened there with Bean versus McVay.
Did you see them throw Pagula, Bean, and McDermott?
Yes.
Did you see Pagula interject on a question about the wide receivers?
Keon Coleman,
and he just threw. The coaches wanted Keon Coleman. Brandon just listened.
You have seen then now twice where Bean said he went to bed hoping he was going to be able to draft him, and then said he was also excited that he ran a slow 40 time, because it gives him a better opportunity to draft him. So it seems like somebody lied and got away with it.
Keon Coleman can't be a Bill next year.
He can't.
Crazy. Yeah, they're just gonna bring back Brian Dable, would be my guess, which is not a good idea, might I add.
Yeah, I understand. He's probably just a really good offense coordinator.
Yeah. Okay, we'll get back to. I do want to talk about the carousel a little bit in a minute, including some of that stuff. But I want to get to this that we talked about a little bit on Monday when Joshy was not here. And now that it's been 2 more days, I'm starting to wonder, are the Packers going to make any other changes that, they're choosing to make? Because they didn't choose Jeff Hafley to take the Dolphins job. Jeff Hafley chose to take the Dolphins job. And now the season has been over for a week and a half. Matt LaFleur's had his contract extension for 4 days. And we still have nothing on Rich Bisaccia, who the entire fan base and then some want out of Green Bay. We still have nothing on the offensive staff. Will there be a new offensive line coach? Will there be a new offensive coordinator? We've got nothing a week and a half after the season ends, which is abnormal in the league if you are going to make changes. So as more days go on, the more concerned I get that the Packers are just going to go, yeah, let's run it back. Outside of Hafley leaving, we'll get a new defensive coordinator and everything will be fine. And that would be a failure to me, to not make any changes by choice, to make 0 changes by choice after winning 9 games, being the 7th seed again, and needing your head coach to elevate his game in 2026 to a championship-esque level. You need a better staff around you. And still no news on Bisaccia, still no news on Stenovich, still no news on Butkus. That concerns me the further and further on we get. Joshy, calm me down or tell me I'm right.
I think you're right. I think maybe we get a change at offensive line coach. I think maybe there's some other person that's sort of maybe the linebackers coach that served as a sacrificial lamb of, hey, we may change this. The way Jason and John Kuhn and everyone basically with any no talks about the way Rich Bisaccia has felt and the way he's perceived in the building sure makes it seem like he's not going to go anywhere. And I do understand from an aspect of it's probably a lot to do with investment in special teams and how seriously the Packers actually treat it. And by that, I mean not at all. They look for a kicker, try and find a punter, and then the rest of it there is wherever we can make it work in the margins. I would make an argument that he's probably a net negative too with how he's the associate coach and he's also the one helping with game time and in-game decisions.
Which hasn't gone well.
Poorly, historically poorly, actually, to be quite frank about it. I don't think much is going to happen with Steno, even though he puts his foot in his mouth every time he gets in front of a microphone. It seems like, and with the way the bits of information we now know about how the contract negotiations went with Matt LaFleur, it seems pretty kumbaya. And there wasn't any hard talk about you need more out of the guys behind you. You need better voices, stronger voices, because we need to change the culture. Matt LaFleur and the players view Rich Bisaccia as essential to the culture, and I would say it's probably a culture not worth preserving based on what we've seen the past few years. But I'm not the one that makes the decision. So I think if you're looking for wholesale big-time change, I think you're going to be disappointed. I do think they do fan service in the margins and say, sorry, Luke Butkus, you're out of here. And then maybe if DeMarcus Covington gets a promotion somewhere else, they look for something there as well.
I don't think that's a good idea.
No. I haven't thought that for a long time. I don't think it was a good idea to bring back Matt LaFleur in the first place. So retaining his full staff is definitely not what I think to be the right move.
I'll tell you this. I said it on Monday, right? Like, I'm fine with you bringing back Matt LaFleur. I think he's a good coach. I don't think he's a great coach, but I think he's a good coach. And I don't know that you would have done better right away than continuity and consistency. Like, I think that is important to the youngest team in the league from a top-down perspective. But when it is clear that things are not going well entirely, change is necessary. Evolution is necessary. And I figured that with a contract extension came the discussion of, we're keeping you because we like you and think you're good, but we need more out of you, and we need more out of the guys around you. And the fact we've now gone 11 days, and there's no Bisaccia news, there's no Stanovich news, there's no Butkus news, that's concerning. And now 4 days since the contract extension has officially been announced. And again, things could still change, but the fact it's been this long since the season ended makes me think maybe there won't be. And don't love the idea of just running it back, because I think that ultimately winds you up in a pretty similar spot that you've been each of the last 2 years.
To me, it signals a degree of complacency.
Which I tried to argue against on Monday, because I don't think re-signing your head coach signals complacency. But I think it signals complacency from the head coach to not make any choices. Right. And again, Jeff Hafley leaving is not a choice.
Right. The complacency is, I don't necessarily attribute that to Matt LaFleur, but I think he can become complacent because the franchise is complacent above him. So he's not forced into trying to make wholesale changes and make a big difference because he's not being pushed to.
Yeah.
His boss isn't telling him, we consider this year a failure and it wasn't good enough and we need more out of you. Seems like they all got around, decided, well, we had bad luck. Those injuries, they cost us the season. We just got to give it another run. That's the way I've perceived it to happen, and I don't think that's accurate. I do think there was a lot left to be had. I do think there's zero excuse to lose the game against the Chicago Bears. And I do think the status quo is just going to continue to fester and breed those type of things continuing to happen.
I'm getting good at stressing myself out.
What are you stressing about? What are we gonna do about it?
Be upset. I'm a fan, Joshy, man. Like I invest too much in this. Time, money, sanity, heart rate.
You don't invest sanity in this.
Sure I do. My own sanity it deteriorates
You're
because
not.
of
Well, you're not
my favorite
sane
thing.
though.
That's not an unfair point, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Will, what's up? What's on your mind? You just playing with the microphone, or you got something to say?
I don't know. I was just gonna say I don't know if you are losing your sanity because you're just the eternal optimist. I think you wrestle.
Is
with
that a
your
nice way?
sanity.
Is that a nice way of calling me insane?
No,
No, but they're
like you don't have as many gripes with the team as Josh does. I
Right,
think. Like, I think it drives Josh more insane than you.
I that's probably true.
because here's let's play this out.
Yeah.
It's 2 months from now, they hire a new offensive line coach, a new linebacker coach. You've spun this into the pieces are there. We just need to get the most. We need things to go.
No. I'm telling you right now. That number one, that won't happen.
Hunter, mark this.
Yeah, mark this.
We're gonna
Number
say
one.
this.
Number one, I won't do that. I will not try to spin. I might praise the new hires, right? Like the new defensive coordinator might get praise, but I will tell you two things. I will not be happy if Adam Stanovich is the offensive coordinator, and I will not be happy if Rich Bisaccia is back as the special teams coordinator. In fact,
about one of
hold
two?
on. Let me finish.
Whoa, feisty.
All offseason, I will continue to peddle that Rich Bisaccia should not be employed by the Green Bay Packers, and I will never let up from that.
I think you just wrote a check your ass can't cash.
Brother, I've been writing that check for over a year, and I've been cashing it.
What if one of two? What if Stenel's gone, Bisaccia back?
I'd be more upset about that than the inverse.
Okay.
I think. It's very close. I'm over both.
You're
of
just
them.
standing on your ground and now you're saying I think.
Well, I think I'd probably be more upset if I'd be more upset if Bisaccia is back than Stanovich.
It certainly seems like Bisaccia's back.
Because it certainly seems like Stanovich is back.
Yeah?
I was going to say, Strouf, think about which unit has let you down more the last few years.
Both of them.
Yeah, but one has been worse than the other, and you
For
know
sure.
which one.
For sure. It's special teams.
Yes.
Yeah. This would be Bisaccia's fourth year in Green Bay if he is the coordinator again in 2026.
I think having Josh Jacobs return kicks in the last game might have saved his job.
Good pop. It's a good pop. It just there's so many issues in that unit, and there's the least amount of things to figure out with that unit. Now, it's complicated. It's maybe more complicated than an offense or a defense in terms of you have a lot of different areas, right? Long snapper, kicker, and punter, and punt returner, and holder, and yada, yada, yada. But the fact that he has not actually figured out any of them since his arrival to Green Bay, outside of he had a good kick returner for 2 years, who then decided he was no longer going to return kicks until the playoff game in Keyshawn Nixon. It's just infuriating. It makes me very upset. So yeah, I don't know. I'll be upset at both of them. But I mean, we're 11 days in the offseason. It seems like they're coming back. And I don't want to call this complacency, but there's not a whole.
Does it not feel like there's two warring factions going on inside of you?
There's two what?
There's two warring factions.
Right over his head.
No, warring factions. The factions that are at war. Yes, it does seem that way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because on one hand, status quo and what was the way you described it on Monday? What rehiring Matt LaFleur brings consistency?
Yeah, continuity. Yeah.
Continuity. But wouldn't continuity be the same justification for
Who's been better at their job, Matt LaFleur or Rich Bisaccia? Who's been better at their job during their time together in Green Bay?
Well,
There is a correct answer, you know.
during their full time, Matt
No.
LaFleur.
Well, their time together. No,
last
their time
season?
together.
Last season, I think they were probably pretty closely.
I want to talk about their full 3 years together. Who has been better during their time?
Matt LaFleur.
Okay, Adam Stanovich and Matt LaFleur. Well, also the other part of this is we just don't know what Adam
I was
Stanovich
gonna
does.
say I can't give you a real answer
Yeah, I
here.
can't. I can't even ask you the question.
Right.
Get conscious. But that's why I'm frustrated. Because you well, like, I look at this, Joshy, and maybe this is a foolish thing for me because he probably wasn't going to call plays. But Mike McDaniel goes to the Chargers, where he's going to be the play caller. But maybe think about the possibility of bringing him in and collaborating and bringing in a guy who's part of your system and understands it and can help you innovate and ideate. And
You know what would have been great there? Maybe fire Rich Bisaccia, give him assistant or associate head coach, so he's not calling plays all the time.
right, but
But you both have a play sheet, you're working together, you're collaborating.
bingo.
And then he has a job that's more than just Adam Stenovich, which is stand there and do I almost said bleep all. Do blank all.
There you go. Bleep all, blank all. Yeah, I don't know. All right, I got it off my chest. I feel a little bit better.
The biggest miss was that I didn't know Danny Smith from the Steelers was
Yeah.
on the market. The Packers, that guy's a home run special teamser.
Where'd he go? Miami?
He was Tampa Bay.
Tampa.
Would have had to buy him a lot of hubba bubba, but
Yeah, he's a
Big gum guy.
Big gum guy. Hubba bubba.
Sounded like you said a different word there.
Oh. Might be that too. All right, quick updates on the coaching carousel. I mentioned Mike McDaniel is now the offensive coordinator in L.A. Danny Smith is headed to Tampa as the special teams coordinator. Two guys you probably could have used to go along with whoever you hire as DC. But Hafley, he's the domino Monday afternoon. Monday night, the Tennessee Titans say, okay, we were down to two guys anyway. And Robert Saleh is back as the head coach of a failed franchise. I'm sure that'll go well for Robert Saleh out in Tennessee.
can't wait to see him back as the defensive coordinator for the 49ers in 2029.
I don't
You think he's getting 3 years?
Yeah, you're right.
Good point.
This might sound crazy.
Uh-oh.
I don't think making a bet on Robert Saleh is so crazy if you operate under the justification of everything the
Aaron
Jets
Rodgers.
touch turns in. No, not Aaron Rodgers. It's just the Jets. Everything the Jets touch turns to crap.
Isn't that kind of the same idea as Tennessee, though?
Vrabel, Tannehill, a couple good years. They beat
Derrick
the Patriots.
Henry.
There's some success there. I mean,
It's definitely not to the level
Very
of the Jets.
few and far between, but yeah.
It's not to the level
Yeah.
of the Jets.
Yeah.
I mean, once they fired Vrabel's where things really fell off the
Yeah.
map for them.
I mean, we'll find out. I'm intrigued by Robert Saleh because I think he is a really good football coach. But I am intrigued what that leads to. So we will see. All
He
right.
wouldn't have been my first pick, that's for sure. I would have probably found a guy that would.
I would have taken Sean McDermott over him.
I would find a guy that can be the right hand man of my franchise quarterback. I drafted 1 overall.
Right, and then
That'd
you go,
probably be
you go
step
get a
one.
I mean, their offensive coordinator hire is going to be a big time
Yes.
choice to make.
Yes.
Would have loved McDaniel. if
Come on,
Jim
Adam
Ward-
Stanovich. Go to Tennessee, brother.
They'd laugh.
I understand. All right, it's Wednesday. Hunter's got a list of things we've missed this week, things we need to catch up on. We will respond in one word, sometimes less, sometimes more. It's time now for One Word Wednesday, where me, Josh, and Will put our brains together to talk about the latest news. Hunter, take it away.
First, we're going to head out west, some college basketball, as UCLA's head coach Mick Cronin said this after the Bruins took down #1 Purdue last night.
And I want to thank the Big Ten. I want to thank them for giving us 5 of our first 7 on the road, bringing Purdue here on Thursday night, where we don't get back in LA till Saturday night, and giving us the team pick to win the league on a 2 days rest after 5 of our first 7 on the road. I want to thank the Big Ten for that.
Complainer.
Bald.
All he does is complain. He bugs me.
There's never been anybody less UCLA than Mick Cronin.
I don't know that there's ever been anybody less likable than Mick Cronin. That's not true. There's plenty of fun more on this.
Also, why are you complaining after winning?
Also, why are you complaining to the Big Ten Conference when your president and athletic
Right.
director were the one that chose to join a Midwest and East Coast conference?
You didn't have to come here.
Great point.
I haven't seen anything positive about him in the news for a while. It's just every time he
It's
has
him.
one of
It's
these-
him complaining.
My word's angry. He's just always angry.
Always angry. Yeah. No love lost between him and Wisconsin head coach Greg Gard. That is for sure.
I forgot that the Big Ten skews their schedule to just negatively impact UCLA too. They
Yeah,
don't,
that's-
definitely don't do
y-
it to everyone else.
No. Yeah. You're right.
It's not like everyone else plays across the country. It's just them.
It's also like, yeah, of course you're at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
You have to travel half the country.
You live in L.A., you got to go to Piscataway sometimes.
Right. It's part of the deal. We all knew that.
Gosh, if only there were 10 to 12 schools out on the West Coast that could have a conference together. It'd be wild.
That'd be a great idea these days. You're not wrong.
Tonight, I'll be at the Battle for the Strouf Cup as the Milwaukee Bucks host the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah, rivalry is my word. NBA Rivals Week. Apparently, the Thunder and Bucks are rivals now. I'm trying to justify it. Is it the SGA versus Giannis thing? Like two of the best players in the world.
The MLB did this too, and it was just based on location, which made no sense. Like it would be like the
Proximity.
Red Sox and some other, like the Phillies, who historically are never rivals, but are just close.
Yeah, I don't understand why this is the branding around it.
It seems like the NBA has tried to adopt a lot of the things that the NHL does, but the NHL does them better. And they try and
Puck guy.
manufacture these like sort of quirky things throughout the course of their long regular season, maybe where people's attention might wane just based on life and the things you got going on in the calendar. Because rivalry, what do you mean rivalry week?
Yeah.
Also, this game tips off at 8:30 Central Time
Yeah,
for
so-
two
I did
teams in the
notice that.
Central
So
Time
this is
zone.
Yeah, it's a late one. But so today, there's 5 total rivals.
Remember the NBA Cup? Remember how hard people tried to sell us that it matters?
Oh, it matters. Bucks have a banner up the
it's
street.
I'm in
dead.
on it.
Yeah, I'm also in on the NBA
It's
Cup.
dead. Nobody cares.
Who won it this year? Go.
I don't know.
Well, who won it this year?
It was the Knicks. They beat the Spurs.
Good job. Yeah, you bet on that game. I remember that.
Hunter,
yeah.
my word's sorry. 1, because it starts at 8:30, and 2, I just got word Kevin Porter Jr. and Miles Turner are out, so it's gonna be a blowout. I'm sorry.
Real quick. So I just want to talk about this whole Rivals
we
Week thing
don't-
real fast.
We knew it was a blowout before those.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it didn't
correct.
matter. But
The Bucks aren't very good.
2 out of
Um,
your 5 starters
so
gone.
it seems like the NBA actually did fine on Saturday's rendition of Rivals Week. So there's 2 games tonight and 3 games Saturday. But the 2 games tonight make absolutely no sense. So it's Bucks Thunder. That's the nightcap. The one before that is Cavaliers Hornets.
That's a long-standing rivalry.
Yeah.
Del Curry, right?
Well, I think you're
Isn't there a
forgetting
Del
that they
Curry
used to
tie
be,
there.
They used to be the Bobcats, so maybe that was the big game.
Mecca
Cavs,
Okafor
Bobcats.
and
Kemba
Ron
Walker.
Drains had huge battles back in the day.
They did.
The games Saturday actually make a little bit more sense. So the first one is Knicks Sixers. You can get down with that.
Yes,
Knicks Sixers
100%.
makes sense. Warriors Wolves, that makes some sense.
Lakers, Wolves.
Barely, but
Yeah, that one's we're pushing.
At least
the
they're the
limits.
same conference. At least they've both been
I
relevant
mean, it's
the
like
last 2
it's
years.
like Knicks, Celtics, Knicks, 76ers.
And then
Those are like the only true
the
ones.
final game of Rivals Week makes a ton of sense. It's Lakers Mavs. It's the Luka Doncic revenge game. So I'm fine with that. I'm fine with those 3.
the
None of the
problem
guys
is,
on the Mavericks are like
yeah,
trying to stick it to Luka.
Luka, we hate you because you got
Right,
traded.
but you get Cooper Flagg involved. Is Anthony Davis even playing? No, he's out
No.
right now, isn't he?
He's always out.
Yeah, that's true. So if Anthony Davis was involved, it'd
Shouldn't-
make a little bit more sense.
Shouldn't the Bucks be playing the Bulls or the Pistons?
Yes.
And then it should be Heat Knicks because that's a rivalry.
Sure,
And
yep.
then you go Celtics Lakers.
Yep.
Yeah.
You've got to go Golden State and I guess Sacramento.
Thunder.
Or the Thunder.
Thunder.
You,
Yeah,
you
or
can
the
throw Oklahoma
Thunder.
City in there,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's some that actually work here, and then the rest, why are we trying?
Warriors Rockets could be good.
Do they? Does Adam Silver know what a rivalry is?
No.
Has he answered
hold
that
on.
question?
Well, hold on, time out. I don't think Adam Silver's the one that did this.
I mean,
He had to sign off on it.
right. As a
In
commission-
theory, it's a great idea. Just the games make no damn sense at all. And it's very confusing to me. But anyway, all right. Long-standing rivals, Thunder and Bucks tonight at Fiserv Forum. Enjoy the show, Hunter.
I feel bad because my wife got invited by Visit Milwaukee to go. So it's one of those how long until I start whispering to her hey, can we dip out? They're down by 40 and it's the second quarter.
Well, I hope that isn't the case, but
I know.
I probably would not be nudging until she's nudging, or the guest or the person that you are a guest of is nudging. I don't think
Okay.
it's up to you
Speak
tonight.
for yourself.
This ain't about you tonight.
Nudge
I'm just
away.
going to go have a good time.
Yeah, this ain't about you tonight.
Nudge
Oh,
away,
Mitchell.
brother.
Nudge away. What's next?
So there was a goalie fight in the NHL over the weekend. Sergei Bobrovsky was one of the goalies. I'm not even going to try pronouncing the San Jose goalie. I'm just going to play the video of this from NBC Sports California because this is just electric. There's no sound here.
Okay.
But
try
it
to
is.
get play-by-play a little bit.
Yeah.
Goalie comes in. Oh, shoves him. We got helmets on still. We're going to get rid of the helmets, boys. All right, one's off. Now he's throwing fists at a helmet. Not smart. Other helmet's off. The shoulder pads just get in the way. I love it.
That's the best part about a goalie fight is nobody actually.
They just don't. They look very
Yeah.
uncoordinated. It looks like if I was in a
It's
fight.
like lethargic.
Yes.
Oh, he got him down. Sharks
See, the
goalie
special
wins.
thing about this is usually the goalies just fight when everyone else is fighting and
Yeah.
say that they fought. These guys actually looked like they were going at it.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, because the San Jose goalie jumped in and started throwing punches. So then Bob said, "That's not happening."
Bob.
That's what he's called.
yeah.
That's his nickname.
Yeah.
Bob.
Non-puck knower. It's
I-
okay,
I
though.
don't watch
It's
puck.
okay.
Gotta watch
I won't
more
hold it
puck
against
You're
throw.
too busy watching fake rivalry week. I'm over here watching two goalies
I've been watching.
duke it out.
I've been watching my WWE documentary on Netflix. that came out
Anyway,
yesterday. Real
I
good.
have a spicy
Anyway.
food take that I'm going to run past all of you guys.
I had a spicy chicken sandwich for lunch. Go ahead.
Okay, so the perfect level of spice for food should be where your tongue kind of feels like you burnt it a little bit, but after about 20 minutes, it's gone. So it doesn't stick
20
with you for a long time.
20
That's a-
minutes. What the hell are you eating? Ghost peppers?
Well, I'm saying that's a window because some people that can stick a little bit longer. I'm trying to give a good
20
window here for
minutes.
people, but it
20
shouldn't
minutes, I mean,
ruin your
hell.
entire day.
20 minutes would ruin my entire day.
Then you're soft.
And I love spicy food.
I think the perfect amount of spice is hot where you feel it, but it doesn't make you sweat.
First bite, it surprises you, and you need one sip of water, and then you're good.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, it's got some kick
Yeah.
to it.
If I'm eating and sweating, I'm having a bad time.
Oh, I don't mind that.
Yeah.
I don't mind that.
Are you doing the
sensation. I just don't
Blazing
want it to last.
Challenge?
The one at B-Dubs? Yeah, I have. Yeah,
I
I've
did
done.
that once.
Oh,
touched my
is that
eye,
what
bad
Hunter's
time.
doing?
No, Sarah and I went and got tacos for my birthday, and one of them, the hot sauce they had on it. Shout out Tech Stubs, best tacos
Oh,
in
good.
Madison.
Good spot. Yeah, good spot.
And one of them, the beef brisket one. Whew, it was perfect.
I've had that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that place. It's a good place. We can give them fruit pop. I'm fine with that.
Fine, I'll have spicy food tonight.
Fine.
Last one here. The Green Bay Packers released the legend Trayvon Diggs.
Yeah, memories will be my word here. Gonna remember the Trayvon Diggs.
Sayonara.
Can we all go in a circle and give our favorite Trayvon Diggs memory?
Yeah, sure.
When the
You see-
Packers
why-
cut him.
Whoa. Why
Mine's
don't you
the-
start?
Mine's the one play he played in the wild card. He just got run over.
Mine's the first play he played on defense when Justin Jefferson burnt him.
Hunter?
I was going to say the first play that he played for the Packers because Pro Football Focus did him a solid by not saying he was the defender in that, even
Not
though
his
he gave up a
fault.
20-yard reception.
Not his fault.
Not his fault.
He'll be missed.
The Packers need to reinvent this position. And Josh, you said something earlier like you don't think they can. Whereas I think they can. It's just it's going to need to be a similar approach to safety, and hopefully it works out as well as safety. But
Well,
they signed McKinney, they drafted Bullard, they drafted Williams, they drafted Oladapo, and that's worked out for them.
I think without a first round pick or without a decently high pick, it's hard to find a guy that's going to transform the position. I think we know what Keyshawn Nixon is.
Yep.
I think Carrington Valentine either learns how to tackle or not.
Yeah, that's going to be a big thing this offseason.
Yeah. And then you're relying on a rookie. Like, I don't know how much reinvention there is if there's not a, you're not drafting in the top 10 and taking a Derek Stingley or a Patrick Surtain or whoever like the highly regarded guy is. I haven't really looked into any of the cornerbacks yet in the draft, but that to me is like, you could probably get better in the margins. You could probably elevate the level of play. Probably comes at the expense of one of the players that played last year. I don't know what to make of Nate Hobbs. As far as I know, he's no good.
Yeah. He's not. I don't know if he'll be on the team, but
I feel like I don't know if I watched enough Nate Hobbs to know if he's good or not. He had that surgery. He played poorly. I thought he was fine at moments, and then he was mostly bad the rest of them.
it is time now for what we missed, what we learned. Apparently, Will's got one. I've got one. So let's rifle through them. And maybe what we learned. Did you have any words before we get to what you missed?
I did not.
Or what we missed?
Partially because I think Josh had one where it was like warring something in your head, and then he explained
warring
it.
factions.
Warring factions, and I thought it was like I guess warring isn't really a word
You heard
outside of just
fractions,
war.
don't lie.
No, I was more confused on the warring, and I thought it was like waning factions, like the waning gibbous.
Okay.
But we worked through it, so we're good. But
good. All right,
I don't
go
know
ahead.
if you guys saw the Tom Izzo comments from last night. This is what he said to one of his players in a huddle last night. Saying a player can't guard his mother, and then he doubled down on it in the press conference afterwards.
At one point in a huddle, you yelled at one of your players that he couldn't guard your mother.
My mother's 99 and a half, too.
Did she have some game? That's what I was wondering.
No, that's the sad part. She doesn't have game, and he still couldn't guard her.
Well, the other thing I wondered is when you say something like that, crack a joke,
Oh, I was serious as a jaybird.
Serious as
are you hoping that it makes them kind of laugh and relax and play as they're capable, or if they laugh, do they get more trouble?
No, I'm the opposite. I'm hoping he's, the word starts with a P, off. I'm hoping that it ticks him off, and maybe he'll play better angry, because some of it was unstomachable, and I haven't said that much this whole year. So yeah, so he has, we're all flying back to East Lansing. He's flying to Appleton. Check USA Today tomorrow. Him and my mom will be going at it in a nursing home in a gym, and we'll see how he does.
Oh.
He's the best. He's been going on a run recently too, where one of his former players like said something and got kicked off of his courtside
Yeah, I saw
seats, and he
that.
just looked at him like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Yeah, that was Paul Davis.
Izzo's the best, man.
Just tripled down on like what he said to the player.
Okay, so I've known Izzo's been spotted in Appleton a lot. I didn't realize his mom lived there. I was always curious what
makes
was going on
sense.
there. That makes a ton of sense. I didn't know what the connection was. He's getting on a plane to Appleton.
I'm going to be honest.
It's a good diss.
With how much I'm in on the Prep Mania coverage here in Madison, there's a couple of really good high school basketball players in the Appleton area. I thought he was referencing that like he was just going over for a recruiting visit to the Appleton area.
Well, that would make sense too.
The thing is if you talk to Ben Brust about his time with Bull Ryan, Bull was saying a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah.
I just don't think we had as many mics as we used to in as many spots.
It may have been it was worse than that.
I'm sure. I'm also sure Tom Izzo's been worse, and he's probably adjusted as he's gotten older, and knows really sort of adjusted with the times. Yeah, it's. I mean, that isn't shocking to me at all. I remember similar things even playing high school sports. The things your coaches would say to you, and like. My immediate reaction, and it probably says a lot about me, was just to laugh, because it's like that's absurd.
Yeah, it's one of those things like when you have an old coach who has a euphemism you've just never heard before, and you kind of just laugh with your friends afterwards.
I mean, it doesn't
You're
even
like,
really
what
make
the hell did
sense
he
half
just
the
say?
time.
Yeah. So what's going on with this exploding trees rumor? I've seen apparently that Minnesota and Wisconsin, because it's so cold out, they are under an exploding, or they have an exploding tree risk tomorrow on Friday and Saturday, because the temperatures are going to be so cold, and apparently when it gets so cold that trees crack and it sounds like a gunshot. And then,
Yep.
But
The exploding part is it's not just cracking; it's exploding.
well, I've read now from other meteorologists in the Midwest that this is false. But
Really?
they could crack, and you could hear it crack, and he said that hunters have heard this before, not Hunter Vaughn, but
Yeah.
people that are
Well,
out-
so I
that are-
have actually heard this before. And it's even like you can hear it in smaller levels if you have any like furniture that's like real wood furniture. So for example, my dad built a dining room table for my mom and for Christmas, and about a week later we had a really cold stretch and it was really dry, and then a crack formed through the dining room table because all the moisture gets sucked out, and then it just cracks open, and it sounds like a gunshot going off. So for a tree, I can imagine how loud that would be.
Right, and the thing is, like, I think they're dispelling the idea of imagine putting a stick of dynamite in a tree and exploding. I don't think that's what it means, though, because a crack could form, therefore leading to the tree falling, which would then cause damage. So, like,
exploding tree.
right, it's still
Fascinating.
Not every crack's going to result in it tumbling, but
All
there
right.
certainly are plenty.
Well, if anybody sees an exploding tree between now and Friday, please send us a picture because we'd love to air it on Friday. But I'm
Why don't you
fascinated
ask
by this.
Doug Gottlieb? He tweeted out that this is a real thing. Maybe he's seen it.
Well, hold on. What else did he say? He couldn't have just said this is a real thing.
Yeah,
I
there was
moved-
other stuff to that.
I
too.
moved from fires, traffic, and earthquakes to exploding trees.
Oh, okay. He's making a joke. I could text him though. If
To
it's
the
a real
untrained
thing.
eye,
If it's a real thing.
he might be trying to mislead people.
To the untrained eye. All right, we're done here. Good job today, Will.
Thanks.
Joshy?
I hope the court Doug Gottlieb's on cracks and he falls into it.
Jesus, man.
Okay. Your hatred of Doug Gottlieb is starting to get a little excessive.
All right, let's power rank two individuals. Who do you hate more, Aaron Rodgers or Doug Gottlieb?
Aaron Rodgers and then Doug Gottlieb. Yeah, I haven't been.
Nick Cronin.
The thing is, I hate Doug Gottlieb because the amount you talk about him.
I didn't bring him up.
Doug Gottlieb wouldn't exist in my frame of mind if not for your undying love for him.
I didn't even bring him up.
You want to kiss him on the lips.
Where did you see the tweet about the exploding trees?
Strouf and Doug sitting in a tree. Kissing.
You go there, you go to Green Bay, he feeds you a bunch of bull honky, you eat it hook, line, and sinker, then you come back here and tell us all about him. Sick of it. Get him out of here. I don't give a damn about the Green Bay Phoenix, and I never will.
Talk to you on Friday.